You're 100% correct. Good to go.
All right. Call the meeting to order.
Okay, welcome to the Queen Anne's County Commissioners meeting. This is a public meeting that is being aired live on our local cable television station, QACTV 7. These media broadcasts provide county citizens an opportunity to watch and review our scheduled public meetings. In addition to our live audience this evening, we are providing remote options for citizens to watch and participate in county commissioner meetings. Citizens may watch our meeting live on our website at qac.org/live or on our television channel, Breezeline Channel 7 and High Definition Channel 507. Citizens may also participate by joining the live Zoom meeting by going to qac.org/public comment. Citizens may also email comments to publiccomment@qac.org. Any comments received will be read during the press and public comment period on this evening's agenda. We acknowledge your participation, and by attending, you acknowledge that this session is both recorded and aired. Press and public comment will be taken and is limited to 3 minutes per person. If you care to speak, please sign the sheet on the information table in our lobby. Comments longer than 3 minutes may be submitted in writing for the Commissioner's review. We will now stand and be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Commission President Chris Corcorino.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You could please remain standing. A moment of silence for Jeff Strait and for the Catalina Fire Department life member Harry George Jr. Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, that brings us to our agenda for today's meeting, September 13th. So our agenda and the regular and closed session minutes from your August 23rd meeting, along with our Roads Board meeting minutes and the Sanitary Commission meeting minutes from our August 23rd, have all been circulated for review. Are there any additions or corrections?
Yeah, motion to add one additional action item to tonight's agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
All right, motion to approve the agenda as amended and all the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, approved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Okay, we just held a closed session under the General Provisions Article, Section 3305B1, to discuss boards and commissions and personnel. And I do believe we reached consensus on some appointments. So first we had the Spending Affordability Commission.
I move to reappoint Linda Kohler and Bernie Sandusky to fill the upcoming vacancies on the Spending Affordability Committee. These terms will expire on September 30th, 2024.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Okay, next we had the Social Services Board appointments.
I move to reappoint Pastor Mark Farnell to fill the vacancy on the Social Services Board. This term will expire on June 30th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. And lastly, we have the Council for Children and Youth.
Okay.
Confirmation.
I move to appoint Dana Barnhart, Renee Marie Brooks, Judy Corcorino, Amanda Esner, Angie Price, and Allison Wood to the Council for Children and Youth. I also move to reappoint Carolyn Blades, Dawn Frazier, and Eric Johnson to the Council for Children and Youth. These terms will begin on January 1, 2022 and expire on December 31st, 2024.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. 4 in favor, and I will abstain since Mama is on the list. I probably should vote on that one. Otherwise I vote against and I get in trouble. So.
Brave Commissioner.
I'm going to tell her you did abstain. I'm going to tell her you said no.
That'll make a tough Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. That brings us to press and public comments. Thank you for taking the time to express your views to the County Commissioners. Comments are limited to 3 minutes in length. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing. This commission respects your desire and right to convey your message freely. When you come forward, please speak at the standing microphone. State your name, address, and topic of interest. And in keeping with the dignity of our office, we ask that all views be expressed in a respectful and civil manner.
All right, and we're gonna make sure we keep these to 3 minutes. Margie will be strictly enforcing this. She'll throw you out, and you don't want her to do that. Joe Stevens.
Thank you. I will stay well below the 3 minutes, Margie. Thank you.
You're familiar with her
I'm
capabilities.
familiar with it. I've caught the clicker on the side of the head once or twice. Joe Stevens, I'm an attorney in Centerville. I represent Reliable Real Estate Development Services. They've got the reason why I'm addressing you now is because there's really no formal process to address you when you take the matter up for sewer and water allocation in about a half hour. I just want to say really just 2 or 3 things briefly. One is, as we've been through the Planning Commission process to the level we're supposed to at this point, receive concept plan approval from the Planning Commission, and are moving forward in a manner consistent with the prior approvals for this property. As you know, it was approved with a large shopping center back in 2008, 2009. Bunch of conditions on that were agreeable and have agreed to comply with all those previous conditions. I just want to make that clear. Secondly, the component of this which differs from the 2008 plan is that a part of this is for a senior independent living facility. And there's been some question about what that actually is. And I have John Deegan here, who's going to take his 3 minutes, or a little less than that, hopefully, and explain what that is. John is with Chesapeake Caregivers. He's the owner of it, and they're going to be running the independent living facility on Kent Island, and he's going to have an ownership interest in the independent living facility on Kent Island. So he's the best person to kind of explain what the distinction is, how this is something that's akin to one step before assisted living, and the services that are provided with that. And then if you have questions, you can ask them now or later on when the matter comes up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. John Deegan.
Yes. I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak.
Just state your name and where you live.
Yep, John Deegan. I live in Edgewater, Maryland. Thank you all for allowing me to speak today. I am the owner, president of Chesapeake Caregivers. Been in business since 1997. I own an assisted living in Annapolis, Bay Village Assisted Living. I've been in healthcare now 21 years. So the independent living community that we have on the docket is going to provide a medical service. Our company will actually have an office in the community where we will be providing occupational therapists, physical therapy, also a medical director. A registered nurse will be on site for any type of assistance and assessments. And it's 24-hour care. Those services for independent living are a la carte. So it's sort of like an a la carte menu, those that are not quite ready for assisted living. So it's sort of that gray area. It's a trend in the industry right now with the baby boomer generation about to come about here in 2027. And we're filling a much needed void as a company. This community will comprise dining, a gym with physical therapy, like I stated, bus transportation to cut down on traffic, and it's located right next door to Anne Arundel Medical Center. I mean, how convenient is that, right? So it's 88 units. It's going to be a wonderful community, and for those that age in place and stay on the island and not have to look for services elsewhere. And so we're very proud of this opportunity, and hope you will consider. Any questions?
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
But is this the appropriate time to ask the question? Or?
Discussion.
We'll do that during the discussion.
You can do it during the discussion.
Yeah, later.
Okay. Thank you.
That was his polite way to say, don't go anywhere.
There's some people online.
This was an email sent in by Dylan Cannon. It says, "Hello, County Commissioners. I wanted to attend this meeting in person, but I play for the Kent Island High School Bucks, and I have football practices right after school. If you know the coaches, there is no missing practices. I spoke at the Parks and Rec meeting that Commissioner Moran attended. I have reached out to Commissioner Duminal and dropped off letters to all the county commissioners in person to the offices in Centerville, so I won't repeat everything that I shared previously. It is clear that from the turnout of the Parks and Rec meeting that there is a huge movement in support to push for a skate park in Queen Anne's County, including petitions. Skateboarding is now an Olympic sport and is gaining popularity among kids and adults. I play organized sports, but also value skateboarding as one of my individual sports since you can skate year-round at any time of the day. I appreciate everyone's efforts and consideration for the skate park, providing youth in our county another healthy and outdoor recreation opportunity will be appreciated by parents and kids. Thank you again for your support. Dylan Cannon.
What was the young man's name?
Dylan Cannon.
Dylan.
Is anybody online to? Great. All right, we'll close the press public comment.
All right, Commissioners, we are right on time for our public hearing on County Ordinance 22-10, a bill entitled "An Act Concerning Revisions to the Queen Anne's County Ethics Ordinance." And County Attorney Patrick Thompson is here to run the hearing. I believe we also have our ethics attorney, Ms. Crystal Richards, with Thompson and Richards as well here for any questions.
Ready?
Patrick?
This is a public hearing being held September 13, 2022 at 5:50 p.m. at the County Commissioners Meeting Room, Liberty Building, 107 North Liberty Street, Centerville, Maryland, to receive public comments regarding the proposed county ordinance number 2210, a bill entitled "An Act Concerning Revisions to the Queen Anne's County Ethics Ordinance, Chapter 8 of the Code of Public Local Laws of Queen Anne's County." For the purpose of revising Chapter 8 of the Code of Public Local Laws of Queen Anne's County to comply with the requirements of House Bill 363 and House Bill 1058, revising the requirements regarding conflicts of interest, gifts, and financial disclosure, defining quasi-governmental entity, and generally revising and update the Queen Anne's County Ethics Ordinance to comply with the requirements of state law by amending and adding to sections 8.6, 8.11, 8.12, and 8.13 of the Code of Public Local Laws. Persons who wish to comment on the proposed ordinance may do so at this hearing. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. Written testimony of any length can be submitted on before the hearing date to the County Commissioners, 107 North Liberty Street, Centerville. Copies of the proposed ordinance have been available at the County Commissioner's office during normal business hours. All hearing sites are accessible to individuals with disabilities. Sign language interpreters and assistive listening systems are available. For the record of this proceeding will be a certificate of publication indicating that notice of tonight's hearing was published for 3 successive weeks prior to tonight. Is there any public comment with request to County Ordinance 2210? Crystal?
Crystal Richard, attorney for the Ethics Commission. The commission met and discussed the legislation that was passed, looked at the bill, looked at the code as modified and provided for you all to look at. It's clearly redlined where the changes are. The only additional change that the Ethics Commission made outside of the state legislation that was passed was to strike the provision relative to keeping out identification of a residence and 1 acre. For some reason, there was a lot of discussion in the commission where that even came from, and nobody could really identify where the 1 acre requirement kind of got put in there, so they struck it. So now the difference is there's nobody exempt from identifying their residence property. Was if you had your residence was an acre or less, you didn't have to, but those on more did. So this just made everybody the same. So and I can't explain to the room as
Did
to
you
why
guys
it was there.
speculate when you discussed it, or?
No, stayed away from the whys in the
Can
house.
you use it in a sentence? Can you make an example?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Okay, thank you
So-
for that clarification.
no problem.
The mud. Clear as mud.
All right, any other public comment?
Close public comment.
the hearing.
Yeah, close the hearing. Is that open for 2 weeks next meeting, right?
Record open.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. We also have County Ordinance Number 22-11, and that is a bill for introduction. This is an act concerning treatment charges for septage disposal.
I'll introduce it.
And we'll make no comments.
Commissioner Dimino? It's largely a housekeeping item, just to
Right.
clarify the rate
Right.
schedule versus
And I
what the
believe
code
I'm the only one that's actually on county sewer and water anyway, right?
No, this is for dumping.
I understand that. I just think the irony there
All right.
is tipping fees, right?
That concludes all of our legislative items for this evening. We can move into new business. First, we have the Department of Public Works, so if you want to turn to tab number 2, they have several items. First 2 items are for the Roads Board, so if you want to convene as
Motion
the
to
Roads Board.
convene as roads.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so tab 2, item 1, page 1 is the systematic replacement of fleet equipment, 1 tractor mower. So could I get a motion on that?
I move to purchase one John Deere 5105M utility tractor with Almo mowers from Atlantic Tractor of Queen Anne, Maryland, in the amount of $129,483.99 via Sourcewell contract number 110719-JDC, parentheses PG 1P CG 70, parentheses. Yikes.
Second.
All right, we got a motion second. Any discussion on that one?
I have a question, and it's
Okay.
going to relate to the next issue regarding that as well, but I'll put it out there. But actually what I'll do is I'll wait till we do the next piece of equipment.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
How long before you're gonna get it? Do you know?
We don't know. We don't know for sure, no. We'll know once the order's placed, we'll have a better idea. I would say at least 6 months.
6 is 6 months?
At least, I would say at least 6 months.
All right, Commissioners, item number 2 on page 12 is the systematic replacement of fleet equipment. This is for a hydro seeder for the Roads Board, excuse me.
I move to purchase one hydro seeder from Turf Equipment and Supply Company, Jessup, Maryland, in the amount of $52,542.30 via the Sourcewell contract number 052417-FNN.
All right, motion and a second. Question?
So my question was, and it's more curiosity than anything, what does the roads need a hydro seeder and a lawnmower for?
The first item, the mower, is a tractor mower. That's for roadside milling. That's a very large utility tractor.
For milling?
Roadside mowing.
Mowing, okay.
Roadside
So you guys have to cut the grass along the,
We have to cut the grass, yes.
okay,
And that actually has 2 mowers on it. It has a back mower and has a side mower to go across the ditch.
for the slopes?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Hydro seeder is used for construction projects or any road construction that we do for ditches, shoulders. We can go back and hydro seed and cover that up.
Okay, good.
So $125 buys you a pretty hefty mower. Is this a boom mower? What are we dealing with here?
It's just a normal mower for us, not a boom tractor, but it's 2 mowers. It's a back mower and a side mower. So we can cut the shoulder and the roadside ditch on the other side at the same time. But the tractor is actually $65,000, the mowers are $64,000. So they're very expensive mowers.
Right.
Yes, and they're the price increase from last year is almost all mowers. So actually, the mower we used to use, which was a Tiger mower, back in the day, we actually had Alamo mowers, which is what we're asking for again. Staff came forward and asked to upgrade because they didn't last very long. The quality wasn't very good. We did upgrade. Now we've kind of gone back because Tiger's gotten worse and Alamo's gotten better. It's kind of a Ford Mercury thing. Now they're actually owned all by the same company. And Alamo actually doesn't support their mowers in this area anymore, so we can't even get them. So we're going to move, I'm sorry, Tiger's no longer supported, so we're going back to Alamo. And price has just gone up quite a bit since last year.
So are these big 4-wheel drive 100 horsepower things, or what are they?
I believe the tractor mowers are around 80 horsepower.
Right, yeah.
So they're good-sized tractors.
Yeah,
yes.
no, I understand.
For future request, and I think it would be a good idea, and just what Steve's saying is to put a picture of what the piece of equipment looks like.
Sure.
Gives us a better idea of what, you know, because we see them, I see them cutting Bennett Point Road all the time. I know what you're talking about, but it'd be nice to have it, just have a reference.
Can do,
Yep.
yes.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, 5-0.
Motion
Commissioners,
to convene as a sanitary commission.
Second.
Secretary, go ahead. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
All right, Commissioners, as the Sanitary Commission, you have two items as well. Item 3 on page 15 is fleet equipment replacement for 40-yard containers.
Just our normal.
Just an open
I
top
move to purchase
rotation of-
422-03-0721.
Second.
We go through a lot of these, don't we?
We usually buy 4 every year.
Really?
Last year was the first year we didn't buy any, we actually ran out of money.
So if we buy 4 every year, how many do we have in use?
We
Every
have
year.
over 70. They're
So I'm
at
saying
the
it's a-
transfer stations, but they're constantly being moved back and forth.
Right.
And they get into a state of disrepair. And
70.
yeah, it's quite a bit of moving around that goes on.
Wow.
5 transfer stations.
How many roll-offs do we have? I mean,
We usually have 3 running with the spare.
wow.
Roll-off trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they operate all day.
And after 20 years, these things get so beat up, out they go.
They wear out and we can go through and clean them up and weld them back in place, that kind of stuff, but eventually they just have to be discarded, sold for scrap.
Wish we got $11,000 for scrap.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0, motion carries.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item number 4 on page, beginning on page 21, is the Ken Island Crossing Shopping Center and Independent Living Project Facility request for sewer and water allocation.
Now, we can make the motion, but I think it might confuse some people. So, well, I'm going to make the motion anyways, and then we can explain this.
Okay.
Okay. I move to grant 17,483 gallons per day of water and sewer allocation to Reliable Real Estate Services, LLC, for their proposed shopping center and assisted living facility at the cost of $1,025,057, for which a 10% non-refundable deposit will be required within 30 calendar days, and with the condition that the public works agreement between the county and the developer shall contain a provision stating that the senior independent living facility shall remain in institutional residential use as defined by the county code and described in detail in the Department of Planning and Zoning Site 10-0065, which includes but not limited to independent dining, common area dining with meal preparation via a commercial kitchen, on-site healthcare provider, 24-hour on-call services to assist residents with their daily living activities, on-site medical exam rooms for visiting doctors and nurses, and on-site fitness and physical therapy.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Discussion. Stevie, I know you had a question from Mr. Deegan, I think.
Yeah, I'm very ignorant about how do we cope with this. Good. I have no knowledge whatsoever about what constitutes the sort of day-to-day of independent living. In the facilities, when you say these services are available, does that come with the package that when you buy in, or do you pay for every service? How does it functionally work?
So, Mr. Wilson, that's a great question. So all the dining, transportation, maintenance, all of that is inclusive of their monthly rents. So we're there as a home care agency to provide them services for any additional care that they need. Like I stated in my pre-opening statements, it's sort of it's a gray area for those folks that may have a knee replacement, hip replacement, not quite ready for assisted living, right? But want the socialization of an independent community, all the activities, transportation, all those things, and to remain on the island. And so those services, and I have some literature here for you, sir, if you'd like to take a look at it, that Basically, those are billed on an as-needed basis independently. And so what that cost structure looks like, it's about 30 to 40% less than someone entering an assisted living community.
As far as need, you mean as far as need? As far as need?
Correct.
A reduction, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Because not everyone, just so you know, I mean, assisted living, it runs from anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 per month. We're going to be 30 to 40% less than that. And those services that we're offering, medical services, will be on an as-needed basis. But we'll also have that physical therapy component that's covered by Medicare, that occupational therapy component that's covered by Medicare. And if anyone's paid attention to anything that's been going on in the U.S. Congress right now, there's a major push for some of these services